Today, we are reacting to what if ARK's Giga entered Jurassic World. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know much about the ARK survival game, but apparently, there's a giant Giganotosaurus in there. But would he enter Jurassic World and destroy everybody? This video is by Goshi Center. I'll throw him up on the screen right now so you can see him. And let's dive right in here and get to the answer of that question.
The islands of Jurassic will quake on the arrival of one of the most ferocious video game dinosaurs of all time.
Is he really one of the most ferocious?
In today's what if scenario, Giga and not Giga now. If this animal of titanic proportions manages to make landfall on one of these islands. That's how I've always said it, at least. Its effect on the environment and what dinosaurs will plummet down the food chain as
I like this. We're getting a full analysis.
Jurassic Park super predators are now at risk. Will they find a way to prevail, or will they also be demoted to prey?
Oh, is it that big?
And more on the advent of ARK's Giga to the Jurassic world.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this video, hit that subscribe button for me. And let me know, is ARK Survival's Giga this strong?
On these biomes, we first need to understand the basics of this animal. This creature is one of the most powerful tameable dinosaurs in ARK Survival
Tameable too.
Notorious
you can get that thing as a pet.
Massive size, capability to outrun almost anything.
That's crazy.
Its immense health levels and extremely heavy damage. Now, it is a bit unorthodox to migrate video game attributes to a more grounded cinematic universe.
That's very true.
But we'll do our best to make this Giga true to its video game capabilities. There are a couple of attributes that we need to discuss if this what-if scenario is going to be at all entertaining. The very first is its Gnash ability, or effect inflicted on anything that it bites.
That's Kool-Aid, guys.
This
like I always say, this is Kool-Aid.
To lose 1% of their max health for the next 5 seconds.
Spilling his Kool-Aid everywhere, man.
Used in a more or less real-life scenario against the dinosaurs in Jurassic? Well, if you didn't know, this Giganotosaurus's teeth are known to have a narrow, sharp leaf-like shape, which are perfect for slicing.
Did he call him Giganotosaurus? What did he call him?
This will cause uncontrollable bleeding if they manage to pierce.
I need to hear him say that
Similar to losing 1% of your health over some time, losing this much blood during combat is pretty much comparable. The more blood you lose, the weaker you become. Hence, your health depletes at a fast rate. Except in real life, this isn't limited to just 5 seconds.
Yeah, true, because he's got those razor-sharp teeth.
Blood until it bleeds to death. The next ability that is imperative to bring up is its Rage. In ARK, this Giga has a mechanic which will trigger something known as Rage Mode. As this Giga receives a ton of damage over a short period of time, this Rage meter will max out, causing this Giga to literally go berserk. This in turn causes this animal to inflict a lot more damage and destroy
everybody's dead at that point.
Even
if he
its
gets
rider
rage,
and any friendly tame.
Look at the bird. Where'd that bird come from?
In real life, there are actually instances in which real animals go through said rage mode. War elephants are the perfect example. There have been countless instances and reports of elephants getting peppered with flaming arrows, receiving several cuts and other damage that would make them run amok. Similar to this Giga, the elephants would ignore the commands of their riders, trampling friend and foe alike. So can this Giga run amok in real life? Most definitely yes.
Yes, for sure.
If this Giga finds itself in a situation where it receives tons of damage from all directions in a short span of time, it will only cause this thing to rage.
Is the bird helping
we must discuss this animal's size. There isn't an exact number, but by looking at this reference of this Giga's dossier and assuming this
By the way, I
is
saw somebody comment in the last video, he said Capi finally said it right.
Between a whopping 69 to 71 feet in length and 35 feet in height. That's standing in this particular posture. So yes, as you can imagine, this animal that will be stomping through the plains of Isla Nublar and Sorna already has a massive size advantage. But will this even matter?
What is that?
Let's find out. The first island to be introduced to ARK's Giga will be Isla Sorna, a land filled with different predators and terrain types, elevations, and obstacles. ARK's Giga has this in the bag, pretty much. Back in ARK, we see that this animal thrives in hostile environments, most notably the volcano found in the island. Its size makes us believe that this animal would easily tear through any tough terrain and simply step over anything that would give pause to a smaller theropod. Let's talk about this biome's food chain. If you are familiar with this island's inhabitants, you'll recall that the top of this food chain is contested between two apex predators, T-Rexes and the Spinosaurus. Now, in later seasons of Camp Cretaceous, we find that Big Edie and Asset 87 are both native to Isla Sorna. These specimens grew pretty big, the
Spinosaurus
Spino reaching
and
lengths
the
of
T-Rex.
almost 55 feet, and Big Edie of up to 44+ feet in length.
55
in this
feet
scenario,
for the Spino?
these two are still on Isla Sorna
Look at
and
the
will
mouth.
be responsible for
Oh my
holding the top
gosh.
ranks of this island's food chain. But they're not alone up there. They are also accompanied by
Poor
genetically
dinos.
engineered dromaeosaurs labeled as velociraptors.
Oh,
There are a
a
couple of
dromia.
variants on this island, but both with extremely developed brains and capabilities to conduct well-coordinated attacks. ARK's Giga now has competition.
Who's this
It won't
man?
take long before all three of these predator groups realize that there is a peculiar scent in the air. Something
heck no.
unlike they've ever encountered before.
The big boy Giga.
What will the Giga start doing upon making landfall? Well, since it's so used to literally wandering about killing everything in its path back in ARK, it
That's
will
what it'll
proceed
do.
to do the exact same thing.
It'll just kill
here.
everything.
Nobody is safe, even these oversized armored herbivores. Ankylosaurus can only
Dang.
swing its tail so high. Same
That's
goes
true.
with the Stegosaurus. Triceratops
He can only do so much,
raise
man.
its brow horns to a certain height as well. The bottom
His
line is that
brow
although
horns.
these weapons would be effective against predators such as a T-Rex, these would not be enough to fend off a 70+ foot long predator like
Oh
ARK's
my-
Giga. But what about sauropods?
He's that
These
big?
guys aren't safe either. Remember, this animal's ARK Gnash ability takes form as
Wow.
severe bleed damage in the cinematic universe.
That's crazy.
A well-placed bite to the neck of this brachiosaur,
Oh,
for
yeah, that
example,
thing's
would
done
be
with.
more than enough to bring down this large sauropod. A herd of Mamenchisaurus would probably fend off a Giga if and only if they are concentrated in large numbers.
I would just run
The
if I was
bold
those little
sauropods
ones.
Could
You're
form
fast,
a
man. Get
defensive
out.
line of whipping tails, but even this could end in complete disaster.
Yeah, he could just
They
bite the
aren't
tails.
facing Rexes and Spinos anymore. This is a predator in a class of its own.
It's a
this
big boy.
Bite, powered by these enormous
big
jaws,
boy.
means no herbivore is safe on this island. Now, let's talk about the fight for the top of the food chain.
Well,
If
it's not
Giga
gonna be them.
survives this contest, we'll send him over to Isla Nublar. If we
Isla
compare this
Nublar.
Giga to the predators in this island, we'll notice a severe size difference. In
Okay.
Jurassic, being a taller theropod pays off
That
pretty
thing
well.
looks crazy,
We've
dude.
seen how Rexes in particular have trouble against taller carnivores, often getting shoved down.
What is your
using a
favorite
critical
dinosaur,
angle of
guys?
attack.
Let me know in the
this
comments.
Giga will most likely exploit this height advantage to its
I
fullest.
really like
This
Spinos
also
and
goes
T-Rexes,
for the
man.
Spinosaurus. A fight between these predators
But, I mean,
would
look at that
potentially
size
go
comparison.
like this. Giga acknowledges the clear height advantage and attempts to subjugate the opponent by bringing it down.
Oh, it'd be
opening a
over
space
with.
to
That's
clamp
not
its
even a
massive
fight.
jaws on the victim and let the bleeding do the work. Unfortunately for both the Rex and the Spino,
They're
this
too
guy
little.
is just simply too big to push.
He is
And to
ginormous.
inflict enough damage for it to back off.
That is
Because of
crazy.
the Giga's nature to kill everything upon sight, the first encounter with a Spinosaurus would mean that this creature would be extinct in Isla Sorna. The remaining T-Rexes, who see that this Giga is unbeatable,
What if they
would
jumped
simply
him?
get out of its way.
They gotta
Raptors in
do
this
a
island would most
coordinated
likely
attack.
not mess with an animal this large.
A coordinated.
If they don't already
You know what
mess
I
with
mean.
Rexes and Spinos, it is even more unlikely that they
Oh.
will try to bring down a super predator
Getting
of
jumped?
sauropod-like proportions.
By the
They'd
raptors?
keep to themselves, feeding
No
off
way.
the animals that were not consumed by the Giga. As this predator wanders through the island, any animal that comes across would get killed.
Is that
But
Rodan
would it
back
kill
there?
for
Y'all
sport?
see Rodan?
In
No, I'm just
ARK
kidding. It's a
Survival
pterodactyl.
Evolved, this animal's behavior is to kill everything around it. Perhaps this creature isn't down to thrive with anything with a pulse, and will instinctively kill any moving creature simply because it's hardwired to do so.
You just gotta get
instead
out of there at
finding
that point.
pleasure in doing it. So, who remains? Only
Nobody?
the animals that can hide from plain sight or
Right.
keep a distance.
People that are so
Pterosaurs would
small they
simply
can't
remain
even,
at
you know, he
bay,
can't see
thanks to
them.
their ability to fly. Small dinosaurs such as Capi and Dilophosaurus would remain hidden in the thick forests. Velociraptors would eventually run out of medium-sized herbivores to hunt down, forcing
Man.
them to turn against the smaller
So it would
carnivores
basically
and
just be
eventually
the
each
people
other.
that fly,
As we
or
can
the
see,
creatures
the
that fly.
entire food chain would collapse with the advent of this dinosaur. If the Giga stays here for a few
That would be
years, it
horrible.
will eventually kill off every large predator.
And then he
But
would
we'll
die because there's
transport
nothing to
this
eat.
creature to Isla Nublar, where a new type of predator awaits. Now we'll travel down to Isla
Another
Nublar,
one? Who
where
is
our
this?
Giga has just stepped on its shores.
Oh,
Here,
it's another.
we have plenty of predators to look out for as well. But talking about how ARK's Giga would fare against dinosaurs like the
Oh my.
Monolophosaurus or Carnotaurus is a waste of time. We need to focus on these 4 predators who would take up the top ranks of this island's food chain.
I'm still saying
Rexy,
the Giganotosaurus.
The Raptors, the Indominus Rex, and the Mosasaurus.
Oh, maybe the Mosasaurus.
This island in this scenario was already going to crap, since the Indominus Rex would already
if he gets
be
close
killing
enough to the
everything
water,
in its path for fun.
pull him in.
So now that makes 2 crazy predators that would in no time wipe out all large wildlife on this island.
Indominus Rex, I don't think has a chance.
Cancel the other out.
No shot.
In the previous island, we saw that T-Rexes don't really stand a chance against this dinosaur. But the other 3 might or might not, depending on the circumstance.
Yep, T-Rex died, sadly.
Let us explain. If the Indominus Rex lays eyes on the Giga, it will immediately acknowledge that this dinosaur will most definitely be difficult to handle on its own. After all, this creature measures 70 feet, and even a full-grown Indominus Rex would have trouble bringing this thing down.
70 feet.
This creature is crazy, but it's not stupid either. All animals are hardwired to stay alive as long as possible, and an intelligent dinosaur like the Indominus Rex will now have to think of how it will stay alive.
He is smart.
Since this thing will eventually cause the Indominus to run out of food.
But the Giga's not stupid either, you know? He's not dumb.
How the Indominus Rex dealt with such threats.
He is no dummy.
Upon seeing that fighting humans with firearms would be difficult to fend off, it resorted to a base instinct found in this animal's genome: pack hunting. That's right. Knowing how this thing is part raptor and how it's able to communicate with them, the Indominus would probably figure out that the best way to deal with this new super predator would be to form an alliance with these raptors.
If he formed an alliance and got everybody to get him,
the chances are of bringing this guy down.
That's a good chance.
In this franchise, raptors hunt in coordinated attacks. One gains the attention of the victim, while another member of the pack ambushes from the side. Except in this case, the best dinosaur to perform this ambush is the Indominus Rex. Its camouflaged body will give it the perfect cover to attempt this surprise attack.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that it can camouflage.
Assuming that these raptors had the balls to see this through, these raptors would lure the Giga into a predetermined kill zone, where the Indominus pounces forward, attacking this Giga's flank. This would probably work on another big theropod,
he could knock him over.
But remember, this is not just any predator. This is ARK's Giga, and this animal, after receiving damage from all angles in a short span of time, this creature will turn amok.
I forgot he had that rage mode.
The said rage mode we discussed earlier. That's right. In the real world,
so animals,
including us humans, that go berserk will experience something known as adrenaline, a hormone released by the adrenal glands that will trigger this amok state.
If you see a giant dinosaur with some adrenaline,
strength levels, thus allowing said animal to inflict more powerful damage. Upon seeing the loss of a couple of the pack members, these raptors will cut their losses, flee, and never face this dinosaur again.
Yeah, you'd have to get out of there.
The Indominus won't get away with this too quickly.
Indominus
because it is the
indebtedness.
largest, this creature will proceed to get hunted down by the much larger Giga, and most likely lose a fight against an enormous, abnormally enraged bull Giganotosaurus.
So that was the thumbnail, okay.
This guy is the equivalent of a land-based, oversized Mosasaurus. Speaking of which, let's move over to the lagoon.
Wait a minute.
Things here will get interesting. Assuming that the Mosasaur is ballsy enough to try and ambush the Giga,
gotta get close to the water.
This could go in one of 2 ways. Jurassic has made it really difficult determining the exact size of this animal.
He's massive, that's all we know.
It literally changes size every time you see it.
True.
If this Mosasaur is indeed the size as seen here, then there is no doubt that an animal this large can bring down a Giga, dragging it into the water, drowning it during an ambush. But if this Mosasaur is as large as some of these official sources claim, then ARK's Giga will probably fare a lot better. If ambushed, this creature is robust and strong enough to hold its ground and pull backwards, beaching the Mosasaur onto dry land, allowing the Giga to easily outmaneuver a beached Mosasaur and that would go in for the kill.
If he dragged it on land?
Would the Giga comfortably thrive in these islands? The answer would be a simple yes.
Absolutely.
As we can see, there is no real threat for this animal, aside from a hypothetically large Mosasaurus.
Oh no, I'm never going surfing again.
Giga will remain as the uncontested predator in this island, just as it is in ARK Survival Evolved.
That is the end of this video. You can't beat that guy. Thank you for watching with me. I will see you all tomorrow. I love ya. Goodbye.